Hey, this is ZZ from my latest sponsor, ExpressVPN. You know, Netflix has different content available to users depending on where they're located. Netflix has thousands of shows, but you can only get access to a fraction of that because of where you are. If you're utilizing Netflix without using ExpressVPN, it's like paying for a gym membership, but only being able to use the treadmill. So, how does this work? ExpressVPN lets you change your online location so you can control where you want Netflix to think you're located. They have almost 100 different server locations, so you can gain access to thousands of new shows. I'm talking like Star Trek, the original series on UK Netflix, Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Canadian Netflix, Rick and Morty on French Netflix, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on Indian Netflix, the Harry Potter movie series on Australian Netflix. The list goes on and on. In the Easy household, we utilize ExpressVPN, and we've unlocked so much content that my family and myself can enjoy. But then you might be like, Eric, we can use other VPNs. No. Listen, blazing fast speeds, stream in HD with zero buffering, compatible with all of your devices, phones, laptops, media consoles, smart TVs, and more. And it encrypts your data. ExpressVPN has the added benefit of encrypting your data so you can browse the web securely. Look, be smart. Stop paying full price for streaming services and only getting access to a fraction of their content. Get your money's worth at expressvpn.com/Zane. Don't forget to use my link at expressvpn.com/Zane to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Oh boy. Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing? I'm so excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining me. The Insane... No, not the Insane Asylum. You see, I'm getting shows mixed up. That's the radio show, The Insane Asylum. That's weird. Welcome in to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the work week. Ryan writes, God damn it, look at that hair. It's so fucking sexy. I know. I want to have sex with my hair. It's incredible. I can't help it. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a very sweet thing to say. As you all know, there was a time in my life when I would be offended when a man would tell me how attractive I am. I was like a big homophobe for a period of time. That's a true story. Oh, a man said I had a nice butt. Oh, I'm so offended. What an asshole. I even went on the radio and talked about it. Can you believe that? Painted myself as a huge homophobe. God damn it, grow up, you stupid idiot. So glad you're here. And I want to get right to this story about the guy who zoomed into court because he was there for like a suspended license. You know, it's like, all right, your license, you've been driving under us with a suspended license. It's time to go to court. And you show up to court and you figure out what's up, and the judge gives you your punishment. Well, this ding dong, it's a zoom in. You hit the button and all of a sudden you're there virtually. And the proceedings start and the guy is actually driving while the court proceedings are going on, which obviously that is an absolute problem. Let's get into this. This thing has gone around the world 5 times. People are loving this clip. And this happened in Michigan, in Metro Detroit. The guy, hang on a second here. This screen is jacked. It's too far to my right. It's making me uncomfortable. Hang on. That's better. Maureen says this is totally something that my son would do. Oh, no. Jeremy adds, this dude should have called the police and asked for permission to drive while on Zoom. Certainly. Okay. Shut up. Here you go.
Court calls case People versus Corey Harris.
Corey Harris. Corey Harris, who I referred to in the Patreon as Black Kenny, because he looks exactly like Kenny, but black.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present via Zoom.
There he is. There's Mr.
Mr.
Harris.
Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
Okay, so the judge right away,
Wait.
he's like looking around and everybody knows what's up. The judge is
You
just
stationary?
it's fair.
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay, so I'm not so sure that at this point the judge has put 2 and 2 together. I think he was just kind of annoyed that he had to wait. I'm not entirely sure yet that the puzzle pieces have fit together.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay, now he's getting it. You can tell just by looking at him. Oh, what the fuck did I just do? What did I just do? Oh boy. This is gonna sting because now I've got to sit through an ad. Occasionally this happens when you're doing a live podcast. This is horrible. Okay, give me a second here. God damn it. I guess we got to watch the ad play. Tyler says, if only there was a way for us to know if he was actually driving, which is a reference to yesterday on the Patreon. The whole thing plays beginning to end, and Autistic Aram chimes in with, how do they know he was driving? And as usual, he has to question where, he had looked away or something like that, or I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Well, anyway, I used to have this video here. That was great when I actually had the video to play, but now it seems like everything is rebelling against me. Maybe after we sit through this advertisement for Invesco QQQ, we can pick up the fun. This is horribly embarrassing. At least you have my hair to look at. Okay, I swear to God.
Chris. Wait.
All right, there's Black Kenny. He's parking.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay.
There's a moment in this, when the judge is explaining, what's about to happen to the guy, when Black Kenny realizes he's fucked.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving.
Right there.
And
His mouth opens. Black Kenny.
he didn't have a license.
As with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Now at this point, the judge is Black Kenny's raising his hand to speak. I guess he wants to say something. Judge is writing something. The lawyers are acting like they're busy. Black Kenny staring off blankly. A little bit of time passes. Very uncomfortable.
Hello?
Black Kenny says hello.
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
The attorney. Public defender is like, this is great. This is worth the low pay I get for doing this job.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is turning himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Look at him. Oh my God! He is our Kenny.
Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Case people versus Maya Isom.
Look.
I'm still on behalf of this.
Well, I would get to the doctor. You know, you said you had a doctor's appointment. Get in there and I don't know, maybe complain to the doctor. Tyler says a quote from probably Black Kenny. Hey, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was on the way to the chiropractor because I hurt my back. Megan, whoopsie daisy. How do I turn myself in if I can't drive, Your Honor? Says White Kenny. My God. This is an all-timer, this one. This is the type of thing where, you know, obviously he's turned himself in, or at least he should have. And I'm not sure when exactly this happened, probably in the last few days. Things going around. I mean, this has been sent to me probably 6 times, and I'm so thankful that everybody did that. And why I like that. That's very important to me that everybody sent it to me, because it all struck you as, oh my God, Eric has got to talk about this, and then you sent it to me. So to the, I don't know how many it was so many people that sent that to me. Thank you. This was worth 2 plays. I rarely do this. If I play something on the Patreon, more often than not, I won't play it on the free podcast. And if I do it on the free podcast, I won't do it on the Patreon. But this one was like, oh my God, this requires a thorough addressing on both platforms. This might be one of the most viral things that has happened in recent memory, because this is just ridiculous. You get it all in that 2.5 minute piece. And that's unedited. That's from beginning to end. That's the whole thing. This is so big that I think Black Kenny can, if he has the right people helping him, he can make a big fucking pitcher of lemonade out of these lemons. Because that's how the world works. He didn't do anything that paints him as an asshole. He's just a dimwit, and the world loves a sweet dimwit. All right? Just like Black Kenny's doppelganger, White Kenny. The world loves our Kenny. Okay? Sweet as pie. And just everybody is rooting for Black Kenny and White Kenny. I think if Black Kenny and White Kenny get together, they could become like tag team wrestling partners or something like that. My God. So I am all about this guy right here. This dude is has a certain nature about him that just makes him lovable and sweet, like our very own White Kenny. Ryan says, quote from Black Kenny, "Hey, Judge, sir, I like you as a man, but not the character of Judge." Wait a minute. So that's like a tie-in to like Eric Zane's Itunian. Chris suggests Ebony and Ivory karaoke, or karaoke as some might say, with Black Kenny and White Kenny. Chris said Freeburn Hot Wings played it this morning. Everybody is talking about it. Oh, yeah. If they didn't play that, if they didn't play this clip and have fun with it, that would mean that all hope is lost. Tyler says to White Kenny, Kenny, we need you to do blackface so we can compare pictures side by side. Yeah, that would be good. Kyle Ryan says both Michelle and Rachel played it this morning on the radio. Kenny adds, dude, just imagine the shit all this guy's friends are giving him after this right now. Yeah, and I believe that. I believe that that is true. And I'll bet you he has many friends. His demeanor struck me as that of a sweet guy. And that moment when the judge says, yeah, and he's driving, and then his mouth just drops. Ugh. Ryan says, I wish Black Kenny could become an Eric Zane show character live via the phone. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try to give him a call right now, see if I can make it happen. But I don't know. I mean, it's quite easy for me to get phone numbers. See if I can get him on. Hello, is this Black Kenny?
Yeah, it's Black Kenny.
Kenny, I was just I was just watching you on the news story, Black Kenny, about you.
Oh, that motherfucker. Oh, I hurt my back. Sorry. Yeah, I was driving my car.
Yeah, the judge, Kenny, can you maybe take me through what you were, what was going through your mind when the judge started to reveal, what he was thinking?
He had no idea what he was talking about because I could drive a car. I could drive a car down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but yeah, but
I can drive the car up the road. I mean, they say I don't have a license. I got a license. You know what I'm saying? I got a license.
Well, you might have a physical license, but it's suspended. You're not, it doesn't.
There's who?
Well, the judge indicated that that's what you were there in the first place.
Yeah, that judge, I know that judge. I've been to his house. I've been with his dogs and stuff. He's a nice man, but when he's on the courtroom in the judge, he's a piece of shit.
Black Kenny, can we talk a little bit about your doppelganger, White Kenny? Are you aware that you have a doppelganger named White Kenny?
I did not. I ain't no white man. I'm a black man.
Yeah, I know. But there's a dude in Nashville, Tennessee, who looks exactly like you, but he's white.
Oh, I can't even imagine what kind of an abomination that would be.
Now that's a horrible thing to say. He's one of the sweetest people on the planet, and I thought you were too. But
well, I bet you he is a very nice man. Oh, my back. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's got this.
I gotta get to the chiropractor.
All right. Well, Kenny, thanks a lot. Kenny, thank you, buddy. I appreciate your time.
Oh, yeah. You ever been to a chiropractor? They fix you right up.
Yeah, I've heard you're that is Black Kenny. It was Black Kenny right there. He was the guy that we saw in that video with that judge. Very kind of him to join us today. Donut Dan says that stuff Don't matter. He gets bronchitis, probably the same evil judge that Trump had. Okay, I don't know about that. Kenny says, hey, there's nothing black about this guy. I don't know what he's talking about. That was him. Jeremy says he even has the same views as White Kenny on chiropractors. Cole writes, it sounds like Trump doing a Kenny impression. I don't know about that. Amy says, everyone likes to hang up on EZ. Yeah, I've noticed that. It seems like I've seen that seems to be a trend. Linda says Kenny and Black Kenny are soulmates. Now that I believe. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't really bring this whole story up without thinking back to the other amazing one of the most historic events on the show is also in a courtroom, and it's also via Zoom. During that pesky pandemic, remember everybody, this clip where the judge, also in Michigan, of all things, was getting ready to start the proceedings. He had a bunch of defendants in there. I don't know what. I think he kind of like puts them all on the screen like the Brady Bunch theme, like the beginning of the Brady Bunch. Great reference. And then they're all there. Okay, Mr. So-and-so, what do you plead? Mrs. So-and-so, what do you... whatever. All these misdemeanor offenses. Well, the one guy checks in, and you know how it has your name at the bottom, like in your window? Like it said Corey there, where it said Black Kenny. This guy, his name said Buttfucker 3000, which is fucking hilarious. This is proof, too, that this judge has no sense of humor. As the guy logs into court with the name Buttfucker 3000.
Then we'll bring this fool in.
The judge already sees it coming. He says, we'll bring this fool in.
Then we'll bring this fool in. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yes.
Nathaniel Saxon, sir.
Your name's not Buttfucker 3000, you yo-ho.
Okay. At the bottom there, this Caitlin Torzewski, she immediately covers her face. Keep an eye on her. Joseph Christ here, I think he reacts in a particular way. This Alexander Heath, he's already laughing.
Me?
Yeah, you. Yes.
Nathaniel Saxon, sir.
Your name's not Buttfucker 3000, you yo-ho. Logging into my court with that as your screen name.
Then Buttfucker 3000 is like, what?
Why would
I'll
that?
discuss that in a little bit. What kind of idiot logs into court like that? What's your name again?
Nathaniel Saxton, sir, but I don't believe that I typed anything like that in.
Well, that's what it says.
Why,
We'll
I
discuss that in a
apologize.
bit.
That should not
Yeah,
be.
you should. I'll put you in the waiting room. You can sit in limbo for a while and think about what you call yourself online.
Holy shit. Okay. Now, look, if you're this judge, how do you not have the sense to understand right away that this is a goddamn error? And how can you not sense that there is hilarity afoot And to not acknowledge that and to stay as a stone-faced fucking serious prick is beyond me. That shows me that this person is humorless, this Judge Middleton. How can you not, even though you're in court, recognize what's happened and give it its due? And that is a hilarious reaction. You fucking idiot.
Mr. Grossnickel, could you take your hat off, please? All right. He
This guy is such a prick.
missed an earlier date, but he's here now.
Can you take your hat off? Are you kidding me?
All right.
Can you imagine what type of a husband this guy is? Or how much this guy probably berates his significant other.
Hey, good morning, everyone. We've got everybody with a name. You're all here.
Okay, now he brings Buttfucker 3000 back.
Mr. Saxon back in.
Okay, now Nathaniel Saxon comes in. He's now sideways. Okay, he's back.
Your Honor.
Yes.
If I may explain, my sister was the one that set up my Zoom account or whatever. That but effer is my iPhone pairing name for my Bluetooth speaker, sir. It's an inside joke. It's not what you think.
It's what I like to do. Butt fuck 3,000 times a day.
I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry.
Well, you should be. All right, we'll come.
What an asshole. You should be. Yeah, you should be.
I'm sorry.
It was a mistake, you fucking dick.
Well, you should be. All right, we'll come back to you in a bit. Let's take care of some of yours, Mr. Barnes. We have Michael Owen.
That is so ridiculous. Very funny. Very, very funny. I love that so much. Gives us a great opportunity to go back to it since Black Kenny started the show out for us. Corey says, Judge, all right, now that's been taken care of. How do you plead on the 6 counts of anal rape you are accused of? Oh, you guys are funny today. Holy shit. Stevie says Judge Sarah would probably laugh. Oh, did you hear Judge Sarah's getting ready to retire? The world famous Judge Sarah Smolinski. I've referenced Judge Smolinski, the Honorable Sarah Smolinski, many, many times on this show. She has been a fixture behind the bench in Grand Rapids, Michigan here. And she's calling it a career. She's just got a little bit of time left, and then she says, that's it, riding off into the sunset. I love Judge Smolinski. I'd like to get her in here, actually, and have a conversation with her about her long, long career behind the bench. Truth and justice in the American way. There was an article about her I saw in the news. Bleeding Heart Brian sent my way. Thank you very much. I think I am going to try to do that. Get the Honorable Judge Smolinski on the show. We can have a little chat. Megan says she's a family friend of... Really? Well, that might be like the fast track to getting her on. I'd like to go visit her and interview her. We could do it either Zoom in, kind of like Black Kenny did, or we could I could go visit her. She's awesome. Corey says judges have not been kind to White Kenny. You know what? You better be careful. If you piss him off, he's in a good mood right now. He's rolling with all these jokes. Nick writes, the last court Zoom I was on, there was a lady nodding out on OxyContin that started snoring. Megan says that, yep, her mom and the Honorable Judge Smolinski are pals. Well, I'll talk to you later. Chris says, who doesn't Megan know, though? Exactly. Ryan says, I support the judge. Show up to court with the name Buttfucker 3000 plastered on your profile. You get what you get. Oh, wait a second here. understood. However, it clearly was unintentional. No one intentionally does that. And that judge couldn't grasp that. He was being a fucking ball breaker. I like it when judges are fair. Okay? Stern, but fair. And I don't think he was fair. Kenny writes, "Hey, Eric, the one who was saying he should have had a sense of humor about it, I was just referring to judges in general. Most are assholes. Yes, in my experience." I could see that. I like it when judges, the ones that show up that are, like I indicated, stern but fair. Willing to listen. You know who my favorite judge is? Is that old man. He's on TV. I see him show up on viral videos all the time. And then, like, there'll be an old guy there who, he ran a red light. And he gets in front of the judge. And, like, the old man has one of those hats that says USS whatever aircraft carrier. And the judge says, were you... You served Vietnam? Yes, sir, I did. I did 3 tours of duty in Vietnam. Okay. And then, like, has a couple questions about it and says, I'm going to drop the charges. You're free to go. And the guy's, like, crying. There's always something really nice that happens. And it's always like, oh, my God. Guy gets up there, old man, got a veteran's hat on. He's out, you sodomized 16 kids in 8 states over a 3-day period. But you served. You're free to go. Godspeed. Jeremy K says Judge Caputo is what every judge should be. Is that the person? Judge Caputo? Judge Caputo, greatest hits. Top 10 heartwarming. No, Caprio. It's Judge Caprio. That's the guy's name.
Time
Not
doesn't
Caputo.
heal all wounds. Hard work.
There's like a bunch of audio playing right now. They're always fantastic. All right.
Top 10 Judge Caprio cases.
Well, I was making a right-hand. I was making a right-hand turn.
Did you ever read the driver's manual? I mean,
it was so long ago. I don't even know what I had for breakfast.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day.
Come on, get to it.
The most memorable cases that Judge Frank Caprio has ever presided over.
Do you feel so bad that you want to help her pay for it?
Not that bad.
Not that bad. Okay.
Well, what's going on here? He's got some hot chick next to him.
Number 10, the graduation clause. A young motorist gets caught going through a red light on a traffic camera. Although Judge Caprio quickly takes apart the defendant's excuse that the signal was yellow, he still gets to know the accused.
It was red in the video, so...
But then it turned red on you? It sneaked up on you?
When the judge discovers the defendant is a high school student with college aspirations, he decides to waive the violation on one condition.
See?
The student must earn a college degree.
Well, my chief investigator, Inspector Carrigan, out to make sure you graduate from college.
The way that Caprio...
You see, basically, if you get in the courtroom with Caprio, you're gonna get away with it, you know? Wipe out a family of 5 that are walking down the street because you're drunk. If you make it into Caprio's courtroom, you're gonna be okay. That's what I'm learning here.
We're going to have a family meeting tonight.
Number 9. Honesty is the best policy. In this case, a father was charged with going a blistering 10 miles per hour over the 25 mile per hour speed limit. After asking a few questions, Judge Caprio invites the man's family to the front of the courtroom.
Okay.
Well, I didn't feel like we were, exceeding too much over the limit.
Not too much.
No,
just a little.
Yeah, just a little. I didn't.
No, she.
Now we found the honest one.
He then asks the defendant's son Menelik to say whether his father is innocent or guilty.
Oh, okay.
Menelik
Here we
doesn't
go.
hesitate to do the right thing.
Fuck you, judge. I don't talk to the police or the judges.
And gives an honest verdict.
Guilty or not guilty? What do you say?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Of course.
Everyone erupts in laughter as the boy incriminates his father. Fortunately for the defendant, Judge Caprio decides to dismiss the speeding charge. He also ends the case by giving Menelik a shout-out for his honesty.
Just be careful down there. And you have a very honest young man as well. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There you go. See, I love that judge. We need more judges like that. We need more judges like that. Unlike Judge Middleton, this stick-in-the-mud asshole. Corey says, someone calls that kid in Uncle Tom. That's like a racist joke is what that is. Kenny says, I wonder how he would have reacted to Buttfucker 3000, LOL. Chris says we need a judge like that on the Trump case, which the jury is still deliberating. 35 counts of whatever the fuck. You know, for somebody like who is such obviously the biggest name in the world right now, Donald Trump, this case, he could theoretically go to prison for quite a bit of time. It seems like no one really gives a shit. Isn't that weird? It's remarkable. And now, as soon as the verdict is read, it's all in. And I get the vibe that the news cycle is kind of like one eye on it at all times. And then the second that hits, it's going to be all Trump all the time. We're getting ready to start June, July, August, September, October, November. So roughly half a year until the election, which he will win. And I think that he wins by even more than he would. Well, we have no way to tell. If he is convicted, boy, is that a win for him. Chris says he'll never go to prison. Immediate appeal if guilty. Donut Dan says no freaking way. He will be elected way before the appeal takes place on this. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he's innocent, guilty, appeals, doesn't appeal. It does not matter. Now, what I really want to happen, I mean, like, my brain wants Biden to win, even though he's horrible. Because, like I've said before, I'm committed to anyone but Trump. However, what my heart wants is Trump to be convicted, win the election, and then day one, pardon himself. Like, remember, like, in his first term, he had all those leather-bound binders, and he would sign those executive orders. We're gonna drill, and we're gonna use our own pipes or something like that. Remember? I want him to get one of those books, the spectacle of it all. Day one, open up the binder and write "fuck you" and just hold it up, and then I'm pardoned. That's it. I have pardoned myself. And Kenny, like he says, I'm sick and tired of these old dudes. Yeah, I know. But there, you know what? There's no point in complaining about it. There really is no point in complaining about it. And I know that that's kind of what you do, but you gotta kind of embrace it. You because there's no choice. We don't have any say in this. It's gonna be one of these two fucking idiots. All right. For those of you that are enjoying the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. But it is time to send you on your way. You can head over to my spot on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app to get the rest of the show in its entirety. Once you get there, follow me and subscribe to the channel. The audio podcast is available wherever you download shows. This, in fact, the audio from this is the audio podcast. Now, that's all one thing. The other thing that I have on its own platform is my Patreon, which is chock full of its own content. Today is a Big Fraud Thursday. I'll be featuring another episode, in fact, episode number 20, the live stream of Who Are These Free Beers? And then the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast right after that. Starts at about 6:15 Eastern, or otherwise known as Big Fraud Time. Starts with Who Are These Free Beers, episode number 20. And then the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Thank you to Jeremy K. He has sent me several clips to review. In fact, I would like to... no, I don't know if I can do it right now. I'll save it for another time. But I've got a number of clips from the show that I want to share with you. Let's see. Jeremy sent me a great free beer self-triggering moment. I might be able to get it. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about my capability here and what I'm able to access while I'm doing the show. And I'm doing this on the fly. Let's see. Who are these free beers? Episode 20.
Like whenever you'd fill out those surveys, I always got...
Hold on. You can probably hear that. Okay. I wonder if you can hear this.
I need the job to be different day after day.
Oh, good. You can.
Which, thank God. This...
All right. Free beer self-triggering is basically he'll have a discussion and then something that he says will get into his brain and makes him think that it's a insult coming from an audience member who's upset with the show. And then when it's in his brain like that, he responds with this whiny type of voice where it's the same every time. It'd be if I talk like this. That's he's upset. And that is what we have termed as a free beer self-triggering moment. This is from Jeremy. Another free beer self-triggering moment. Here we go.
Like whenever you'd fill out those surveys, I always got, I need the job to be different day after day. Which, thank God, this, for the most part, is. I mean, parts of what we do, it's Groundhog Day, but the show's different every day.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, so out of left field, you hear this voice because he's getting in a fight in his head. He's saying something that makes him self-conscious, and then outwardly, he addresses it in that voice. He didn't have to do that. And no one sees it coming, so Hodwing starts talking right when Greg's doing the goddamn voice. And it has nothing to do with it. They're actually talking about a particular topic.
Like whenever you'd fill out those surveys, I always got, I need the job to be different day after day.
Like what makes your job something that you look forward to, something that you like? I guess that could be what they're talking about there. I'm not even entirely sure about context. But it has nothing to do with what the audience says about him. But he gets it in his fucking brain, and then out comes his self-triggering moment.
Like whenever you'd fill out those surveys, I always got, I need the job to be different day after day. Which, thank God, this, for the most part, is. I mean, parts of what we do, it's Groundhog Day, but the show's different every day.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, my God. Tyler says, I want to punch him so fucking hard when he uses that voice. Chris describes it as LOL petulant a-hole voice. Jeremy, who sent me that clip right there, says, I sent you one last night that made my blood boil. I might have missed it. Let me check it. Okay, May 29. Jeremy writes, Freebird and Hot Wings did a segment today about what happens to people when they go into a coma. What they see, hear, feel, etc., etc. A really interesting topic, in my opinion. They had a caller call in, and he wasn't the best at telling the story, but this person had fallen into a coma back in 2020. Imagine falling into a coma pre-lockdown, then waking up during lockdown. Fascinating story, I thought. They had him on the phone for a bit, and then they cut him off mid-story to go to a commercial so that they could hit the ever so important trivia replay segment. All caps. They finally talk about something interesting and cut it short to run a replay. Anyway, that made my blood boil, so I figured I'd send it to you. Last week was pretty crazy. I didn't pull that many clips, but like I said, I'm gathering material for some supercuts that I think you'll love or hate. All right. So I can get this one.
Many other injuries, and all of a sudden, everybody's wearing all the PPE that they were wearing at that point, and you can't see your family.
Yeah, you probably
it's terrifying.
Yeah, probably thought you were on a different planet.
Stein, we got to roll because we're running late getting to trivia, but we appreciate you calling, man, and we're glad you're okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love you, bud.
Take care, man.
Oh. We have a guy who actually was in a coma who's giving us his account of what happened when he woke up and the world is different. But we got to go to play trivia. Fuck! Kenny says, Eric, you should try and get that same caller on and explore that. That would be interesting. No, what am I going to do? Call Greg and ask him, hey, you got that guy's phone number? All right. Anyway, join me on Patreon for Who Are These Free Beers? That happens tonight at about 6:15 Eastern Time. The live stream of the latest episode number 20. So there you go. Facebook, folks, X, and YouTube, I am saying goodbye to you now. Thanks for being here. But follow the show on Twitch. You get the show in its entirety. Twitch and Facebook brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. X brought to you by Blue Frost IT. And follow me on those platforms as well as YouTube and Instagram. The open and live stream of today's Eric Zane Show podcast is brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Get into your mortgage today. Get pre-approved. 231-332-6505. As the interest rates are thinking about starting to fall, you're sitting there wondering, what should I do? Well, I'll tell you what you should do. It's real simple. Get pre-approved now for the home that you can afford, for the mortgage that you can afford. First and foremost, that's what you do. Mario will help you every step of the way. Once you get approved, you pick out your house. And then you buy. And then you're living the dream. You're paying off your house a little bit as you go. That interest rate's going to start to trickle down. In a few years' time, it's going to be back down to where it was before the pandemic. And then you're like, my God, I am several points less on my interest rate. I need to refinance. Go about it through the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Get after it anywhere in the U.S., 231-332-6505. I'm telling you, if you have like a 6% mortgage on a 30-year fixed, for the love of God, make sure that you make all your payments on time. Keep your credit score high. And when it comes to refinance, when it's down to 3%, get in on the 15-year mortgage and save yourself tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. 231-332-6505. If you have lived in your home for a long time, you can get money out of your home with a refi. 231-332-6505. Vouch is my website that combines creators and small business. Vouch.store/Eric Zane is where you go. So if you like having a cocktail or two, I want you to try Camp Craft Cocktails. Go to my Vouch store, vouch.store/Eric Zane, and buy any one of the varieties of Camp Craft cocktails. Okay? Each of these jars full of dried fruit makes 16 ounces of your favorite booze infused with fruit. You do that, and then you drink it. You use it as a mixer, drink it straight, whatever the hell you want. And then you do it again. Each of these jars full of dried fruit is good for 2 fillings. So it really works out in a fantastic way. You can cash in and get these at vouch.store/Eric Zane. Thank you. Impact Power Sports, online at impactpowersportsmi.com. They sell things like four-wheelers, side-by-sides, motorcycles, scooters, e-bikes, lawnmowers, Yamaha golf carts, full service department. They're in Rockford, Michigan along 14 Mile Road. ImpactPowersportsMI.com. They also sponsor the studio. Oh, by the way, when you email me stories that you want me to talk about, like Black Kenny getting in trouble on the court Zoom, I want you to send it along on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. ShorelinersStriping.com. They stripe parking lots and athletic fields. They are awesome. Spent a little bit of time. We didn't have them last week. I forgot what happened. Oh, I was out of town last week. We haven't talked to Kyle in a little while. Kyle from a company that used to market themselves on this show. Let's bring him in right now. He told me, I swear to God, I texted him today. Like, buddy, are we doing this?
Hello.
Hey, well, I hope I didn't get you at a bad time.
No, it's cool. Just out here living that life, you know.
Are you actually doing like moving shit right now?
Yeah, we are actually out on a job, but to be honest with you, I need a little break. It's kind of hard.
What is the job that you're doing today?
We are, well, we have several jobs today, but the one we're doing is like an old basketball hoop, and they got it ripped out of the ground, but it still has the cement around it. So we are getting the cement off the hoop and then taking the hoop and the cement.
Oh, my God. So you can't just throw it all into the dumpster the way it is?
No, it's so heavy.
Oh, okay. You got to break it off bit by bit.
Yeah, we actually have a jackhammer, but it's just on a different job today, so I couldn't use it. So, yeah, we're just going old school on it, baby.
You're just smashing at it with a sledge?
Oh, yeah, baby. Chipping at it with a little crow and stuff, and then hitting it with the big old sledge, baby.
Do you have protective eye gear on?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, baby.
Because that could kill you. Can you imagine if a big chunk of cement just goes right into your brain like that?
Yeah, it would suck, dude.
I know it. So, you get that phone call. Hey, this is what we have to do. Do they give you all the info ahead of time, or you just figure it out when you get there?
A little bit of both. You know, they give us the info, and then, you know, when you get here, it's always a little different than you expect. So whatever, you just roll with it.
My God. So this is an all-day one, or you got something going on in the back half of the day?
Oh, no, yeah. We did, I think, 2 or 3 jobs already this morning. And then, then after this one, I just got to pick up one more thing, and then we're just doing a bunch of deliveries and shit, baby.
So basically some rich bastard had this at his house?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay. So I like that. He's like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm calling Kyle. And then you show up, the hired muscle, to bust this thing up right there.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, my God. So then you take it, and you have to take it to the dump and just take it there and throw it right in the landfill?
Yeah, I'm separating out the concrete, though, because we can recycle that. But, basically.
Oh, okay. Now, what about the metal? Is that because it's got a metal pole, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. We're going to recycle that there as well.
So do you actually get money for the for that material?
Yeah, like a little tiny bit. Not the concrete, but the metal you get like a little bit. It's metal used to be higher in price, but it's lower right now a little bit.
Have you ever done what you just described, and then you get lazy and say, fuck it, we're not going to recycle it, and you just throw it away?
It's happened from time to time for sure, but most of the time it's easier just to separate it out.
Why am I not allowed to put tires into the dumpster?
That's a better question for the people at the landfill. I'm not really sure.
I remember you said, EZ, do not throw any fucking tires into there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like hazardous to the environment or something. I'm not really sure.
Paint's a no-no.
Yeah, paint's a no-no for sure.
Chris has a question. He says, Dear Kyle, where can I recycle concrete?
Yeah, they'll let you bring it to South Kent Landfill in Byron Center, and they have like a pile over there that they'll let you, if it's just the concrete, they'll let you throw it in there.
Okay, gotcha. Very good. Okay, so what's been going on, Kyle? It's been I missed you last week, and I was out of town. We haven't had a chance to chat in a bit. What's top of mind for you as you sit there and chop up this concrete?
It's been rather my life's been super freaking busy, so like I feel like not a lot of super funny stuff has been going on, which is kind of a bummer, to be honest with you. I will say though, we're in the heat of the summer season right now at my house, which means little J-Mo wants to mow the lawn with me every single time. So he's getting all pumped now because I'll just throw him on the rider and we just cruise around and he points at areas he wants me to go, and that's what we do, baby.
Is he 3?
Yeah, he's 3.
Okay, so is he swearing yet?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Good. Okay, perfect. Is mom kind of like, oh, God, here we go. I knew we shouldn't have sworn around him.
Yeah, she's definitely like the one that's like trying to get him to stop. But I'm like, I don't know. Like, we're pretty good around him of like not swearing. So I don't actually know what's 100% going on. But yeah, when he, if somebody says an F-bomb or if he hears it like on a TV or something like that, it doesn't matter where he is, he can hear it. And then he'll pop his head up and smile at us. And so he knows what's going on.
Is he saying the N-word yet?
No, he hasn't said that one, which is nice.
Well, you got to teach him so that you can.
You got to teach him. Yeah, that'll go over well.
Oh my God! Yeah, and just blame your wife because you know that at some point in history that's happened. You know that there has been a time
for sure,
that a family has been like at the store, and I'm not saying that they taught the kid. I'm not saying anything, but there has to have been at least one time in all of history that a kid is your son's age and they're walking through a store and a kid refers to someone, hopefully a black person to make it incredibly awkward, the N-word. And what would happen? Because if that happens, immediately the mom or dad are going to get punched in the face.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It had to have happened out there. I mean, I remember one time, I mean, it's not that specific situation because I don't even know what I do. But when I was like, let me see here, maybe like 8 or something like that, 8 or 9, just for no reason, my parents decided that we should all go stay in the Amway Hotel downtown.
Okay.
Even though we lived in Wyoming. So it's like, I don't know, just to like get out of the house, I guess, or whatever. So we were staying there and we were like coming out of like the parking garage, kind of going into the hotel. And we were standing there for a second. And a kid, I swear, he was like exactly my age. Like he burst through the parking garage tunnel thing. He like bursts through the door and like turns and looks at his dad and he goes, what did he say? He goes, "What the hell? I was looking for you, you son of a bitch!" And me and my dad, I turned and looked, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" Because he was like my age. Like my dad turned and looked, and then we like looked at each other, and I mean, we had a pretty good laugh about it. But yeah, dude, different folks, different strokes, dude. Some kids are just allowed to cuss, I'm pretty sure.
So my mom and dad did not swear, but then there was one moment in time that my dad got so goddamn pissed off that he did. And I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. I'd never heard him swear before. And then I heard him swear. And I remember starting to cry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's I can see it too. I can see it because there's some times where like, you know, when like your kid's just like not doing what you say, so then like you reach your point where like you're not like crazy, but you're just stern, and then they look at you like, holy shit, dude. Like, yeah, that's yeah, I get it for sure.
That's what happens. People who haven't had kids or experienced any of the things that we've experienced, they don't know what rage is. They haven't.
I know.
They have not lived. Like every time I hear about some guy who like murders all his kids, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, can you believe it?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, there's another side to that story. Hold on a second. Let's not judge him for murdering his family."
Right. I know, because seriously, it's like before, like a lot of people are, before they have kids, you know, they'd be like, okay, we're going to do gentle parenting, or we're going to like do these different things, whatever, which I said the same thing. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be like, whatever. And then you find out that parenting is really just like yelling.
Yeah.
Kids.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You just can't help it. You just yell at a kid, dude.
I get so goddamn pissed off when I interact with parents who've got like that new age vibe going. Right. They're like talking to the kid patiently, and I'm like, fuck that. Holy shit, man. You got to scream right in their face.
I know, and it's like you feel bad for it, but like I was reading or watching this video where like this guy was like likening a kid growing up to like downloading programs, like hardware, downloading software, like, you know, in a computer or whatever. And it's like, dude, like at kids at like a certain age, they just like have not downloaded the programs yet. So like shit that you know or like understand, like they don't. So like you can try to talk to them, but they ain't gonna get it. Like you have to yell at them sometimes. And I'm like, oh shit, dude. All right, cool.
Chris in the chat writes, you hit your kid with a brush. Everybody knows this. Oh, yeah. I wish it was a mace with spikes in it, too. Holy shit. Oh, my God. Yeah. And then it wasn't long after they started to grow that I realized that I couldn't catch them. I had to actually sneak up on them. Like maybe hit them when they're sleeping or something like that, just as like payback. Oh, my God. Well, anyway, I could talk about this topic all day, but Jesus. So anything else going on that you want to address?
No, not really. Actually, Memorial Day weekend was pretty freaking chill. I got it in a round of golf, which was pretty freaking cool. I was terrible, so that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, really, like, straight up, my life's just been boring, dude. We've just been very, very busy. Like, you know, I'm like not even home during the weeks really anymore. So kind of a bummer, dude.
All right. Well, summer is here, so enjoy that. Absolutely. Did you hear the story about the former Detroit Lion, Isiah Buggs?
What happened?
Do you remember this guy this past season?
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
He was a big, giant guy with a beard, and he was the defensive lineman. And He got cut last year at the end of the year, just before the playoffs. And the year before, he started like 13 games, and he kind of was squeezed out during the year. This year, he was a little bit cranky about that. There's an arrest warrant out for him for cruelty to animals.
What?
And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I guess he has a residence in Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and cops were called, say, hey, there's something going on at this house. They show up there, and there's like two dogs tied to cinder blocks, emaciated, horrible condition, skin and bones. One of them had to be euthanized. The other one is fucked up. So they put an arrest warrant out for this guy, saying for cruelty to animals. And witnesses said that he moved out of the home 9 days before the police visit and owed more than $3,000 in back rent, which is weird. I don't picture. Right? I don't picture like an NFL player makes millions of dollars owing $3,000 in back rent. That's strange, but whatever.
That is super weird.
And then just leaving the dogs out there. His agent says the dogs were not his, and he was unaware that they were left at the home. So we shall see.
Yeah, we shall freaking... You tell me what a guy with the last name Buggs is not nice to animals? That doesn't make any fucking sense, dude.
You lost me there. I don't understand why the fuck that you would expect he to be nice to animals because his last name is Buggs.
Yeah, that's my only logic, Zane. That's it.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be nice to animals because his last name is Buggs.
That's what you should name this episode, dude.
Kyle, I'm going to leave it right there. I appreciate you. Get back to work. You got to chip up some concrete. I'm sorry that's your day, but at least it's not too incredibly hot.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. Well, hey, man, I thank you, and I'll talk to you down the road.
All right. Love you guys. Juicies.
There you go. Kyle from a company that used to market themselves on this show. I'm still trying to get them to market themselves on this show. Kenny says that's only 1 month's rent easily. Yeah, I imagine I'm sure he's living in a nice place. But if there's 2 dogs chained together into a cinder block what the fuck is going on with that? Maureen says, oh my God, I hadn't heard this story. What an asshole. I want to chain him to a cinder block in a basement till he dies. That's right. This is like the type of thing that you encounter on a regular basis. Animals left to fend for themselves. Let's see if there's more to this story. There's a warrant for his arrest. 2 misdemeanor charges. 2 dogs left on the home's back porch. No food, no water, and surrounded by feces. Severely malnourished, one of the dogs euthanized after a failed heartworm treatment, while the other tested positive for parvo. That's not good. Denial by the agent. Under no circumstances does Mr. Buggs condone the mistreatment of any animal. Look, you know what? I think we withhold our judgment for now. Okay? There's got to be an explanation. Honestly, let's just say, take him out of the equation. I can't imagine anyone who would ever do anything to in any way mistreat any animal. It seems so foreign to me and so strange. Like, how could you live with yourself? Like, when it comes to mistreating people, there are people who actually deserve to be mistreated. We can all agree on that. Hell, think of the one person in your brain who you think deserves mistreatment. Okay? Like right now, you all probably know exactly who I'm thinking of right now. Who am I thinking of, a human being that actually deserves to be mistreated? Guesses in the chat, please. We all have one. But there is no animal that deserves to be mistreated. I mean, maybe a dog that like mauls a baby or something. But, you can't really fault the animal. Right? They aren't born assholes. So my point is, I don't understand how anybody can look themselves in the mirror after they treat an animal poorly. I really don't. Isiah Buggs signed a contract with the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad after being cut by the Lions 2 days later, and signed a futures contract with the team 2 days after they won the Super Bowl. So they're counting on him for the future. He's as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're probably like, oh, shit, here we go. We got another version of Michael Vick on our hands. Which, by the way, I don't believe for a second that Michael Vick actually cares about animals. Remember that whole dog fighting thing that he served time for? And then in prison, he said, oh, man, I realize the error of my ways. I am a changed man. He comes out of prison. A day and a half later, he's playing football, and that's it. Makes millions of dollars. Everybody loves Michael Vick now. All he had to do was say, hey, I love animals. And I don't believe that he actually does. He just said it, Chris says, this is Zane's stance on every apology, LOL. Yeah. Yes, that is true. And then he says, except when he does one. Oh, no. No. If I ever apologize, I want you to know that I'm only apologizing because if I don't apologize, it will hurt me. If I ever apologize, you need to know this. I don't mean it. I'm only saying it because I got caught. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm not sorry for anything. Okay? Everything that I've done has been done with my own selfish intentions because it seemed right at the time. There's a big difference there. You see how that works? If I say to you, okay, Eric, why did you push that child in a wheelchair down the steps? I'm sorry I did that. No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm not sorry I did that. However, I feel badly that I did that. So I'm not going to do that anymore. You see? You just say, I'm not doing that anymore. That was a terrible decision I made. Are you sorry? No. At the time, it seemed like the right thing to do. But right now, I don't feel that way. That's it. It works every time. If someone says, well, say sorry. And then I would say, well, what the hell does me saying sorry, how is that going to make this better? It doesn't make anything better. Are you telling me that if I get an AK-47 and go to my neighbors and shoot the place up and there's blood everywhere, it looks like a fucking Tarantino movie, and then I get in front of the judge and the family says, we need you to say sorry. I'm going to say, well, what does that matter? I don't need to say sorry. That's not going to change anything. What does saying sorry do? You know? Chris says, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I seriously want to be in a position where like I have to make an apology. Okay? I want to be in that spot again in my life. Like someone says, okay, we need you to say sorry publicly. Okay, I will. And then I get that opportunity to do it. And then I actually bait and switch and say, I was supposed to come up here and say I'm sorry. And I want you to know that I am not sorry about any of that. That was fucking hilarious. Okay? That was a wonderful thing there. And people laughed at it. And it isn't going to change anything if I say I'm sorry. So, in fact, I am doing the opposite. I am not sorry for anything that I have said or done. It made me happy at the time. Hopefully, I won't do that again. But I loved that. Tyler says more radio jobs, more opportunity for public apologies. LOL. I'm not doing any more apologies. I'm not kidding you. Like, that's what it'll be. If any radio boss that I have says, hey, we're going to need a public apology, I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm not going to do it. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. You either put a microphone in front of my face and I'm going to say I'm not sorry, or I'm just going to ignore you. Those are your choices. I am not saying I'm sorry. Well, then you're fired. Well, all right, fine. I'm fired. It's happened before. It'll happen again. Kenny references the song called Public Apology by the group Attila. Ooh. That would be Eric's theme song if he didn't hate that style of music. It begins with the line, I want every single one of you to know that I am truly sorry from the bottom of my heart. I am so sorry. Sorry that you're a little bitch. That's pretty great. Chris says, tune in at 1:24 seconds. I'm not sure what that means. Donut Dan says, sort of like when a famous dude like Tiger Woods had to apologize for cheating on his wife. Oh, my God. Jeremy says people will always tell you who they are. Listen to them. Vic is only sorry he got caught. Yes. Chris says, except when he does one. Wait a minute. I'm lost. Then Chris says, remember the pumpkin patch guy in WBBL? So what was great about Pumpkin Patch Guy was I made the crack because the kid, and if you all listening on the Lost Zane recordings, I know Chris listens to the Lost Zane recordings. When we get to that episode, make sure you let me know because I gotta pull that. The idea that we're on the air playing the news story about the kid. It was a feel-good story. The kid is selling pumpkins to raise money for a new dog, I think. Some type of assisting dog. And the kids talked funny. And Ben and I started making jokes. I forget Ben's joke. My joke was, they need to have a fundraiser to get this kid into a speech therapist, which is a great joke. Well, the dad and the kid were listening. And the kid's like crying. And all of a sudden, I get a phone call. And it's like from the dad. And he's ready to kick my ass. So I'm like, holy shit. So then I want to nip this in the bud, and I go drive to the guy's residence. He lives in some shithole town, shithole piece of property, shithole fucking everything. This dirty, dirty kid and dirty, dirty dad are in the front yard. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm really sorry about that. I'd like to buy $500 worth of pumpkins. Like, no joke. I bought, like, that many pumpkins. I forget the dollar amount, but it was ridiculous. And the car is like, pumpkins are heavy. I waited. I'm driving that Civic. It's like, it's listing to one side. There's so many pumpkins in it. But while we're loading the pumpkins in, we get to the actual offensive comment, and the dad thinks Ben said it. And he references that. He goes, I couldn't believe what I heard. I knew it wasn't you. And sensing the opportunity, I did what any bright-minded radio person trying to avoid detection would do. And I said, yeah, I know. That was Ben. 1,000,000% threw Ben under the bus. I go, I cannot believe Ben said that. I was mortified. I am so disgusted by that. I am going to make sure that he is punished to the maximum for that horrible thing that he did. And then I came back and I told Ben, and he's like, oh my God, you fucking asshole. It was incredible. And then also, footnote to that, when I was being attacked by the dad, Tony Gates, that fucking asshole from LAV, he wanted to go on the air and do a story about it. So he wanted to interview the dad. He has no idea about the trouble I caused. He's like, hey, hello, it's Tony Gates, baby. And the guy knows that it's BBL is connected to LAV through the ownership group. And so the guy lays into Tony yelling at him about me. And Gates came in and he goes, what the fuck happened, baby? And I'm like, uh-oh, cat's out of the bag. If this fucking blowhard knows about it, everybody on the planet is going to know about it. Holy shit. Which, by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but on Big 101.3, for like years now, whenever I play You're So Vain by Carly Simon, I dedicate it to Tony Gates. And whenever Michelle hears it, she just laughs her ass off because we both think Tony's a fucking asshole. And I guess Gates showed up at the DeVos Place for the Outdoors show. And Huge was on the air. And like doing his live broadcast. And Simonson says, hey, Tony, come on, let's talk about shooting deer. All right, baby. And Brett Hayes, Lurch, is back in the sports station studio. This is like just a few months ago. And they're not on the air yet, but they're having a conversation off the air at DeVos Place. But Brett can hear it in the studio because the mics are still wired up. And he hears Gates say, hey, let me tell you something about Zane. That son of a bitch. Every time I turn on Big 101.3, he dedicates Carly Simon, You're So Vain to Me, baby. I don't know what his problem is. I never did anything to that guy. So he's butthurt. He's been hearing me do it. So I'm like, yes. And first of all, Tony, you fucking asshole. We absolutely have a history. I look no further than the time when you said to me, fuck you, Zane. You're dead to me. Which happened because he's tromping around the goddamn radio station telling everybody it's his fucking birthday. And I'm getting annoyed hearing this piece of shit go on. And hey, baby, it's my birthday. Uncle Buck, guess what? It's my birthday. Hey, Rachel, it's my birthday, baby. Hey, baby, it's my birthday, baby. Hey, baby, it's my birthday, baby. And then I go, hey, Buck, did you hear it's Tony's birthday? And Buck goes, well, Tony heard me picking on, fuck you, Zane, you fucking dead to me. Don't talk to me ever again, baby. Chris says he built the station. You should show some respect. Chris knows the stories. He's been there for all these stories. Hey, Tony, sounding good today. I really love the music. That's right, baby. It's the way I built it. I built it that way, baby. The piece of shit. Holy fuck. All right. How the fuck did we get on that? Wait a minute. Can anybody... I was talking about apologies, wasn't I? Does this stem from Isiah Buggs? My God. Let's see. Linda says, are Kenny and Tony related? I don't get that. Are Kenny and Tony Gates related? I don't know what you mean. All right. A little bit more about you remember the golfer who Scotty Scheffler? There was like a police incident where a pedestrian was run over at the start of the big golf tournament a couple weeks ago or whatever it was. And so there's a line of cops and a line of traffic to get into the country club to start the tournament. And fucker said, all right, bullshit, I'm skipping this. And he went driving by and they stopped him and then they took him to jail. Well, first of all, yesterday, all those charges were in fact dropped for Scotty Scheffler. He was arrested at the time and then he made bail quickly. He ended up golfing pretty well that day. Interesting story at the time. But from what I'm understanding, all we need to do is listen to this recording because I have the actual conversation between Scheffler and one of the arresting officers when that all happened. So let's take a listen to that. This is pretty interesting because this is right after Scheffler was arrested.
My tea time. Yeah. I had to loop all the way around. That way it took me about probably a half hour. Okay. So I'm pulling in here. The police officer up there told me to come the opposite way with the traffic and then come in. And as I was pulling in, my window was down, and the officer told me to stop. And as first of all, I did not know that he was a police officer. I thought he was one of the security guards that was mistaken. And as I was pulling by him, he grabbed my arm.
Stop right there. Why does it matter if he's a security guard or a police officer?
Because
if somebody's telling you to stop.
Yeah, you're right. I should.
No, you're not right. Because if it's a cop, he's lied there. He said, why does it matter if they tell you who to stop? Well, it does matter. If a cop tells me to stop, I'm going to stop. If it's some fucking Paul Blart or anybody else, I'm not going to stop.
Stop right there. Why does it matter if he's a security guard or a police officer?
Because
if somebody's telling you to stop.
Yes, you're right. I should have stopped. I did get a little bit impatient because I'm quite late for my tea time. And as he was reaching in the car, he grabbed my shoulder and hit me.
Trying to get you to stop, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It seemed to be a little bit over aggressive because the entrance was open.
Okay.
And I pulled a little bit because I was afraid. I thought he was going to start hitting me, and I didn't know who he was. He didn't tell me he was a police officer. All I saw was the yellow jacket. I didn't know what he was doing. I listened to the other police officer.
So the thing is,
Okay, so now the cop is going to be annoying.
he's wearing a uniform. Okay. He also is wearing the same jacket that I have on that says police.
Yes.
Okay. Also.
So the cop had like a yellow penny on, one of those reflective things. So I guess it's possible you could think that it was just a secure, like a traffic director or whatever the fuck.
So on that, if someone's telling you to stop, no matter who it is, you don't keep going. So what happened is you kept going and you took him with you while he's a pedestrian, okay? Yes. So you took him with your car and drug him, okay?
Yeah.
Which is not a good thing, right?
I'm very aware that was
to make it, so listen to me, so make it even worse, when he asked you to get out of the car, you refused to get out of the car.
I still was not aware he was a police officer. I was actually looking out the window of the car to try to find a police officer. I asked.
We're all right here, and he was there.
I love how the cop is like, yeah, we're all right here. And he goes, no, I just told you. I didn't think you were a cop.
Believe me, sir. If I knew
we're all wearing yellow vests so you can see us.
If he knew he was a police officer, I would have been much more or less afraid. But panic kind of set in. As you can see, I'm still shaking because I was afraid. I didn't know who he was. He didn't say, police, get out of the car. He just hit me with his flashlight and yelled, get out of the car.
We're wearing a lot of police gear. That surely signifies that we're the police.
I like how the cop is like, you should have known. Look at, he keeps belaboring that fucking point.
If I knew he was a police officer, I would have gotten out of the car. I don't know what to tell you other than I was a little bit panicked trying to get into the golf course, and now I don't know what to do.
Let's go back to the first point, okay? No matter if you thought it was a police officer or not, somebody. Why are we wearing yellow vests? Why do you think we're wearing yellow vests? So you can see us, right?
Yes.
So you can see us, and if somebody tells you to stop,
quit talking to him like he's stupid.
If it's a traffic guard, security guard, anybody, that means you stop at that time and you don't keep going.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so stuff like this doesn't happen.
Yes.
Because you actually hurt him, and he's a police officer.
Yes.
He's got a huge scrape on his knee. He's getting checked by EMS, big bruise. So I don't know. But for you right now, the main question is if you're going to jail, and it's up to him. I don't know.
Am I able to speak with him?
No, not at this time. So what I'm going to do...
Are there systems available to ensure the body camera is activated, like if they accept a call?
I don't know what the end of that was. What a big deal they made out of that. Cole writes, scrape on his knee. What a pussy. Chris says, exactly. I don't need the damn lecture. Cops love to do that. I'm going to explain this to you. Yeah, I know. That's where I think half of the police problems occur. Because cops feel the need to explain it. And it's always dripping with this mansplaining type of vibe to it. It's like, yeah, I fucking know. And then poof, they punch you right in the fucking face. Jesus. Kenny says, what I miss, had a phone call the past 5 minutes. Can we just review everything? That's funny. Linda says, never talk to cops. Chris says, cops going to defend cops no matter what. Jeremy says, right, because no one has ever impersonated a cop to take advantage of a rich person. Chris writes, probably retire with full pension because of that scrape. Jeremy says, retire, full pension, plus disability. I think we've got a little bit of an anti-cop vibe going on here. As Donut Dan, former cop, says, I reached into a car once to try and turn it off to stop a super felon from fleeing. He drove me into the side of a building. Never reach in a car that is running. Lesson learned. Chris writes, remember when Andrea's husband mansplained cop stuff to us after the George Floyd stuff? I do. Fun times. Aram says to Kenny, someone suggested you and Tony Gates are relatives because you both announce your birthdays all the time. 'Tis true. Dan says Suzanne Jiha told the story of him reaching into the car and getting hurt on TV later that night. Her voice was so funny. Chris says, I still want to know why Jason Schaefer wasn't a cop anymore. I don't know. Kenny says, oh my God, I'm never saying another word about my birthday ever again. I honestly hate my birthday. Oh, come on now. Don't be such a baby. All right. What the fuck am I going to do now? That was an unbelievable story. Meanwhile, hello to my friends over at A&E Heating and Cooling. That is Senor Martinez. You can reach out to Joe anytime, 616-516-8579 for anything heating and cooling related. When it comes to your air conditioning, if you just flip it on after half a year of not doing anything, God knows what could be happening. Every year you need to have it looked at, have it cleaned, have it maintained. This is not just get it installed and run it for 15 years until it dies. It does require maintenance. That is going to cost you $79. Reach out to Joe today, 616-516-8579 to get that done. When he tunes it up, that means it's going to run more efficiently. It's going to work not nearly as hard to cool your home, which is going to extend the life of your AC. And it also is going to help reduce your energy costs because the thing doesn't have to work as hard or as long to do just that, cool your home. So take that step today. Preventative maintenance is key. A&E Heating and Cooling, the experts, 616-516-8579. I am back at Berlin Raceway this weekend for races, and I cannot wait to see you there. Go to berlinraceway.com to get tickets. They are $14 when you buy them online, $18 at the gate. Parking is free, 15 and under free. Bring in a cooler, 12 by 18. 12 by 18? Yeah. 18 by 12, I would say, right? 18 by 12 or smaller. And you can pack it full of all your snacks and your soft drinks, just no glass and no booze at Berlin Raceway. Online at berlinraceway.com. Lots of birthday wishes for Kenny. Jiha was a national local treasure. That's true. Linda says both Easy and Hot Wings did a great Jiha impression. Kenny informs us he just got chewed out by his supervisor, so I'm in a bad mood. Sorry. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. What the hell happened? Jesus. Was it something you did? Was it did you deserve it? Or is it like they just threw you under the bus? Or did they just wake up in a bad mood and let you have it? Nobody backs Kenny into a corner. Thank you to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. ervines.com. That is ervines.com. Any trouble at all with your automobiles in your home, whether it's a regular old-fashioned combustion motor, an EV, or a hybrid, anything at all, take it to Irvine's. If you're stuck on the side of the road, have the tow company tow it to Irvine's. If you are in West Michigan, this is where you get your car repaired. 616-532-6600. Hang on, I got to turn on the AC. It's getting warm in here. Can't say enough about Frank Fuss. I'm just so happy. Like I indicated yesterday, I'm putting the finishing touches on a new 30-year life insurance policy. That's a great feeling, knowing that you have that type of protection in the event that something terrible happens to me. I know that Pooh Bear will be taken care of. I mean, she's not exactly going to be rolling in money, but $250,000 is $250,000. I just signed a 30-year policy. So for the next 30 years, every month, they're taking out $165. Money well spent for the peace of mind of knowing that if I get eaten by an alligator, the insurance company that I'm working with is going to deliver a check for $250,000 to Pooh Bear. All the way up until until I'm 83 years old. So what is it now? 2024. So 2054. Because today's the 30th. It all enacted it May 29th. May 29th, 2054. My 30-year life insurance policy ends. And I have no insurance. At that point, it doesn't matter. Reach out to Frank Fuss to sign up for life insurance. If you don't have life insurance, you're a fool, especially for a good portion of the audience who are younger. You young ones who are in great health, you got families. What the fuck's going to happen if something happens to you? My God. Reach out to Frank Fuss. Buyinsurancehere.com is where you go. If you're feeling hey, Easy's right, I should do something. Yeah, you're goddamn right you should. Call Frank and begin that process today. So this is real simple. Buyinsurancehere.com. It's just a form. You fill out your name, you fill out your address, your phone number, where you heard about Frank from. There's a spot, there's a drop down, you put Easy. And then you say, Easy's talked about life insurance. I need life insurance. If I die, I want a ton of money to go to my wife and my kids. Okay? And this is, Frank's with you for life. Okay? Anything at all. It could be life insurance, could be a car, home, Obamacare, Social Security, Medicare. He has you covered. Every single one of you should reach out to Frank Fuss. If you're not, you're making a huge mistake. I'm not kidding you. Spend a few bucks a month and lock it in. Because if you're old, like when I got this policy when I was like 22, 23 years old, it didn't cost me anything. It was hardly any money. It was like $15 a month. The older you get, the harder it is to get insurance. Because you're older. You're a higher risk. So get it done when you're young. And then you won't have to pay as much. Anyway, all the details, Frank has them for you, and he will answer all your questions. Buyinsurancehere.com. Jimmy says, can't wait to see everyone tonight. He's stoked because it's another Big Fraud Thursday. That's going to be awesome. Kenny talks about getting busted. He says it's dumb, not worth typing out. That's fine. Tyler says maybe Eric could call and smooth things over. Yeah, Kenny. How about you give me the phone number for your boss? And I can put him on the podcast. I'm always willing to try to bridge the gap. You're so stubborn. It rarely works. I remember that one time you had gotten into a Facebook war with a beloved local entrepreneur known as Z-Speed Mobile Mechanic. And he was kind enough to join me on the show. And he wanted to smooth it over. And you basically told him and I to go fuck ourselves. Chris says, catch you fucking around on your phone? I've been chewed out for that a few times because of this show. I can't imagine what that is like. It's been so long since I got yelled at by anybody. I guess technically I could get, I still get yelled at by the folks at Q100, but it's kind of like, I'm kind of like my own police force. If I do anything, it's not intentional, at least not yet. All right. The body of a woman in her 60s was found lodged in the jaws of an alligator in Houston Tuesday morning. The remains of the unidentified woman were discovered around 8:40 a.m. in the mouth of the reptile, which was wandering around in the Horsepen Bayou. Police were searching for a woman who was reported missing at the time of the incident, according to the department. It's pretty bizarre to think that in various places, even in the U.S., like this story, Houston, you can have like neighborhoods so close to like actual dinosaurs that will eat you. I mean, where I am right now, there is zero threat of an animal eating me. Yet, in several places, you can be near where an alligator is that actually eats you. Remember that one story where the kid, the family goes to Disney and they're at one of those condos on the property, and they just arrive. They pulled up in the condo. They got the rental car. Kids can't wait to go to the Magic Kingdom. It's the vacation of a lifetime. So mom, dad, and like their kids. While mom and dad are going into the house, the kids are doing what kids do. They explore. The kid wanders over to the backyard of the property. And then fast forward, the mom and dad come out and they're like, Junior, where are you? And they see like a little bit of ripple water where like something had jumped or what. And it turns out they didn't see it, but that was the last thing that they ever any evidence of their child. The alligator came up, attacked the kid, took him into the water, and ate him. And they never have discovered anything ever. And when they saw the water rippling, that was the alligator leaving with the child. That actually happened. What the fuck? I'm of the opinion that, let's say I own Disney World, and people are going to be staying on the property. You know, like that scene in Vacation when they closed Wally World for cleaning? The first thing I would do if I bought Disney World is I would eradicate all alligators. Okay? I would kill them all. I would close down Disney for like a week or two and hire the best crocodile and alligator hunters or whatever the fuck is on the property, and they'd all be dead. That's it. I wouldn't allow that to happen in any way. Nick says, wow, this Peter Pan ride is super realistic. That's right. There was a fucking gator or whatever the fuck it was, crocodile in Peter Pan. It didn't it eat the clock or some shit? They could always hear when it was like showing up on the scene. How do you ever get over that? I mean, that was like years ago, you know, but if you're the mom and dad, I'm guessing that every waking moment of every day, all you do is think about that. I think that actually, if that was me, and I went to a counselor and I said, all I want to do is kill myself, the counselor would say, yeah, you probably should. You are going to be tormented otherwise. God damn. Jeremy asks, is the lady okay? He adds, life is great in the Midwest. No gators, no hurricanes, no earthquakes. How did this all happen? The dive team responded to the area and recovered the remains and alligator from the bayou, according to the press release. The Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences is in the process of conducting an autopsy to determine the woman's cause of death and identity. A lady who fished in the bayou Tuesday night told the local TV station that alligators live down there. I might have an eyewitness report of that from that incident. How about the dive team that has to go down and do that? The dive team that has to suit up, go in the water, and look at the bottom of a swamp for like fingers and titties and shit like that. Can you imagine as the dive team, you know, they come up, you see the guy come up with his mask, and then he with the throwing motion, just his arm, you see a titty come flying. Yeah, here's a titty. He has to collect the remains. And then the danger that he's down there with alligators, that's a dangerous gig. To me, that's at least $50 an hour is what you have to pay, is what you should be paid for that job. My God. This is how the local news reported on this horrible incident.
Are disturbing. A woman eaten by an alligator in Clear Lake. The horrifying discovery made near El Dorado and Park Estates this morning. ABC 13's Jessica Willey joins us live, and police are still investigating how she died. But if she were attacked, it would be an incredibly rare.
I'm guessing how she died. I don't know. I'm going to think chewing had something to do with it.
Rare event in Texas, Jessica.
She is cute, by the way. Little too young for your old pal EZ, though.
Yeah, Eric.
Because I think she's about 55. I like them old.
Fatal alligator attacks are very rare in Texas, but I'm told when the female victim's body was found, it was inside the jaws of an alligator. That,
in my mind, the diver was like had a tug of war going, like he's holding her arm with his foot on the snout of the gator, and then it just rips right out of there.
Female victim reported missing overnight. The alligator found along the banks here of Horsepen Bayou in Clear Lake, and according to Texas Parks and Wildlife, Houston police euthanized that alligator.
Poor thing.
Yeah, I fish down here all the time.
On a pleasant night for fishing along Horsepen Bayou in Clear Lake, Angela DeRoos was hit with disturbing news.
That's the first time I've heard this happening down here. It's a little scary.
Less than 12 hours earlier, Houston police were on the banks recovering a woman's body. She was found, ABC 13 has learned, inside the mouth of an alligator. A neighbor snapped these pictures of the response. Officers on scene for hours. Police so far sharing little information. Alligators, Angela says, are a common sight here.
They live down here. We see 8 feet, 10 feet, babies. I mean, I know which banks to stay away from and, you know, where they like to lay in the sun.
The last time there was a fatal alligator attack in Texas was in Orange in 2015. A 28-year-old man was killed. He was the first in 2 centuries.
Really? That's it?
Experts say alligator-human attacks are rare. An autopsy will determine what caused this death. And
come on,
Angela will be sure to keep her distance.
I'll definitely be careful.
Jessica Willey, ABC 13, Eyewitness.
All right. It was a waste of my time. Fucking A. What a way to go. Eaten by an alligator. Bob says if that was me, I'd become one of those redneck gator hunters. Chris says the gator ate Stubbs' hand too. Holy shit. Ugly, ugly, ugly. All right. Speaking of ugly, the Buc-ee's convenience store chain. Thank you, Kenny, for sending this along. You see, that's what I'm talking about here. You guys see a story and you think, all right, maybe EZ should talk about this. There you go. Just forwarded my way, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and the Shoreliner Striping inbox. That's the way That's the way we do it. I won't use all of them. I'll use some of them. This guy's so fucking rich. His dad owns Buc-ee's. Now, those are everywhere. Buc-ee's gas station chains. I don't know if they're in Michigan. I don't think I've seen them in Michigan, but I've seen them in my travels. So the dad of the son of the guy who owns Buc-ee's has been indicted because he's got like rental property or some shit. He's some rich fuck 28-year-old. And when you go in there, you don't know it, but there's cameras everywhere and he's shooting video of you. He wants you like nude. It's 21 counts of invasive and visual recording. The charges pertain to 13 separate victims who were allegedly secretly recorded by 28-year-old Mitchell Wasik, the son of co-founder of Texas-based gas station chain Buc-ee's. Can you imagine being that rich fuck? You're sitting there in the boardroom and probably having a meeting, and all of a sudden you get a fucking phone call that your son is arrested because he's a fucking creeper. My God, he's got all the fucking money in the world. What the fuck is wrong with you? The Travis County DA's office takes the work of presenting all facts and evidence to a grand jury very seriously. In this case, a group of independent Travis County community members heard the evidence and law and decided that Mr. Wasik's conduct was unlawful. According to court documents, the investigation started when guests at Wasik's family lake house discovered the hidden camera. So it's people he knows. Yeah, you can stay in the guest house. And then they discovered the camera. The camera contained a memory card loaded with dozens of videos capturing people in various states of undress in bedrooms and bathrooms. Oh, my God. It is fucking creepy. Can you imagine that? Well, he's probably got a very, very expensive lawyer. I'm sure he'll be fine. But what a fucking loser. Back to the gator. Bob says, if that was me, I'd become one of those redneck gator hunters. I read that. And then he said, she totally feeds the gators like Betty White in Lake Placid. So true. Okay. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the asshole of the day. If you have any suggestions, by all means, I would love to hear them. I can't really think of anybody who has been having asshole-ish behavior. Could it be the I don't want to the guy who was driving without a license. I don't know if I want to make him the asshole of the day because he was so damn hilarious. Cedric Simpson was his name, I believe. No?
Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
Oh, Corey Harris.
Okay.
We went back for Judge Middleton with Buttfucker 3000. That was great. We talked to Kyle, Scotty Scheffler, tough guy cop, lecturing Scotty Scheffler. Alligator eats woman. Talked about Tony Gates. There we go. That's a hit. When in doubt, just make it Tony Gates. That's right. I'm not an asshole, baby. By the way, if you are on Patreon, you know what radio station is going to hire me right now in Grand Rapids. I talked about it yesterday. If you want to find out what radio station that I will be on, let me check my text message. I texted the boss, are we in business? I think so. I got an idea to run past you. I'll call later today. Standing by. I will be on the radio in Grand Rapids very soon. If you want to know what radio station, follow me on Patreon, sign up for the 7 days free, and listen to yesterday's Patreon bonus podcast, and you will know. Your asshole of the day is Tony Gates. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this. Kenny has a great question. Will Patreon be later today or earlier? it's going to be not like yesterday. Yesterday was way late because I went back to bed. I mean, I zonked out. No long nap today. Thank you, folks, for being here. You're a great audience. Fantastic. One of the best of all time. I'll talk to you later on Patreon, and then it's a Big Fraud Thursday. I'm excited about that. You should be, too. Talk to you later on, folks. Bye-bye.